I'm Leanie van Vyver. I'm the designer of Scary Beautiful. It's a project that was my graduation project at the Gerrit Rietveld Academy. It's always been my intention for this to be kind of a controversial piece that people, they look at it at first, want them to be convinced that it's the new fashion, but if they look closely, they would see that it's actually a social commentary. My thesis was called Playing God, and what was the main focus of it is basically how people now have godlike powers to control the way they look or the way the world perceives them. This striving for perfection in fashion and beauty has reached a complete pinnacle that it can't get any more perfect. We are now going on the other side of perfection. I wanted to use something iconic, like something that if you actually see how I can push something very iconic that's at a very pinnacle point of this climactic beauty and perfection thing in fashion. And I thought, well, the high heel shoe is really at this point where the heel has disappeared and the pony shoes, and that people, it can't get any higher. Like the platforms are as high as you can possibly take them, and people are wearing these things. And I thought what I could do is try and push that over even further. And I did that metaphorically with my thesis, and then with the shoes I did that in a physical way. If you look at the high heel as it is today, the higher it goes, the sexier it's perceived. It can be seen as a sexiometer in a way, the higher the heel. So what the high heel actually does is it obviously slightly immobilizes the woman's walk. It makes her legs more muscular. Because of her posture that's being changed, her butt is slightly or lewdly sticking out. It's all like these kind of subtle perceptions that high heels are already communicating. And when I was doing my experiments, because before I came to my final design, I started by first testing how many degrees you could actually push a woman over by putting little wedges under point shoes. And that's where I started. And then I kind of had other tests. And what I wanted to first get is to get this walk down, because I wanted this to be kind of a metaphor for how, by physically pushing her over, also the effects of the high heel becomes so loud that it becomes scary. So now her legs are not just flexing, they are like animals, they're beastly. Her walk is she's so immobile that she's the easiest conquest there could possibly be. Her butt is sticking over so far, she's basically ready to go. So that was what was interesting. That's where everything started falling into place, and I was this is exactly what I wanted to say. If you push this perfection any further, you're creating monsters, I guess. The prototypes, as you will see in the first videos, were all made out of metal and wood. They weren't very friendly or convincing. But eventually I found this orthopedic shoemaker who's given up orthopedic shoemaking, and he was just focusing on fashion now. And I thought this is absolutely the perfect combination. His name is René van den Berg. It was also a challenge for him because he'd never done it, obviously anything like that before. But the skeleton is predominantly made out of carbon fiber. The heel is a 1.5 centimeter thick rod of carbon fiber, which is then covered in cork to smooth out all the carbon fiber, which is then covered on the inside with this orthopedic foam, which you use for amputees. So the shoes are actually comfortable, they are actually wearable. They do amend your walk, but yeah, I think you could walk quite elegantly in them. The thing that made them really more comfortable than you would think, you'd think your toes would be crushed. But what we did is we basically made it very tight on the widest part of the foot. So you're actually balancing on these bones of your foot, and you're kind of hanging in them, so your toes aren't touching the end. So no, there was quite a lot of consideration and planning. The reaction to the project was quite unbelievable. A lot of misunderstanding, but quite a lot of attention. My Vimeo stats went from about 100,000 to 2.5 million views, which was pretty intense. I was contacted by various talk shows in America, like Anderson, Cooper, NBC, The Daily Show. The kind of comments have been varied, but my intention with the project is obviously to start a conversation about the unrealistic ideals of beauty and fashion.